Hello. I'd like to welcome everyone to Draw 5 of the Nova Scotia Scotties Tournament of Hearts. My name's Nathan. I curl out of the Mayflower, and with me I have Terry, who's currently curling at a lakeshore.
Good day, all.
So let's just take a chance here to introduce the teams for this draw. We have Team Teresa Breen, which is also curling out of the Mayflower, as well as we have Team Colleen Jones, also curling out of the Mayflower. So they're currently just measuring the draw to the button stones in order to determine who starts with the hammer. So Terry, did you see the first draw by Team Breen for the button?
It appears that Team Breen should have the hammer.
Okay. So before this game begins, just to give you an update on the standings, currently in first place with 4 wins, we have Team McDermott, followed in second by Jill Brothers and Team Arsenal, both at 3 wins, 1 loss.
Yep, and today this should be a must-win game for Team Breen.
Absolutely. Colleen Jones is currently 2-2, and Teresa Breen is at 1-3 currently, so it definitely is a must-win game
for both teams. Oh, so we're corrected. It'll be Team Jones with the hammer. Amanda's getting set up right now in the hack, so
first rocks to come. So Kim Kelly is curling at skip for Colleen Jones. That's because Colleen is going to the Olympics in South Korea with CBC. So that is why she's curling skip.
It'd be great to see her commentating.
So Terry, chances are we'll see a center guard here to start the game.
Or in the house and just try to play it clean to first end.
Okay.
Come in a little aggressive and just get a feel for the ice.
Okay. Sometimes I think Teresa just like running out of the house to stay warm and do a little sweeping.
Well, it gets cold back there, is holding the broom. You'll notice very quickly that most skips will have their jackets on and won't take long for the sweepers to have them off.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it appears we're coming around into the house. And pretty aggressive strategy to start off.
That draw weight looks very good to start.
Not just about rock in front of the 4 foot, or a T line.
So Terry, why is it so important to keep that draw rock ahead of the T line?
In front, you can always push it to the T line. Try to get the point. You can still have things go in your favor with the rock in front of the T line. In behind, all it can do is go away from the house.
Right. So we're seeing a little tap back from Amanda here on Team Breen?
Yeah, they were just trying to freeze, and that way they can push it out the next time, and just a little heavy. So now they're just calling for backline weight, just do a little tap and roll and come behind the guard.
Okay. Well, it definitely is an aggressive first end.
And with not much curl, you can't really throw a whole lot of weight in here.
Yeah. Yeah, we were talking before the game began about how the ice conditions here are a little bit straighter than some of the teams are used to. So we're seeing more of lots of more taps and bumps than a lot of curling finesse shots. So Terry, was that shot there just tight on the guard?
They were just tight.
Okay.
Weight was pretty good. It was just a little heavy for what you called for, but a little tight on the guard. But having the hammer, that's not a bad miss. Move the guard off the center line a little bit.
Absolutely. So that would be so the skip can get to the button in the last shot?
Exactly.
Okay, now we have the second up. Jocelyn Adams throwing second for Team Teresa Breen.
So she's just trying to tap onto her own, onto that yellow, and remove it. Nice freeze on the back. That should force the point this end.
Absolutely. There's not a lot of way to get that out of there.
And a lot of people forget about that.
So the current Scotties Tournament Hearts is here at the Dartmouth Curling Club, and will be going on all the way until Sunday. So the doors are always open. It's $5 per draw, and they also sell full events passes for $30.
Or you can get reserve seating one for $40. One nice thing about being in the wheelchair, I just take it with me and I get my reserve seating anyways.
That's very true. So Terry, what are we seeing here? Is Teresa calling for a draw?
Yeah, she's just going to draw around and try to put the force on.
Okay.
It appears she's only taking about just over 2.5 feet of ice.
Yeah, those is right at the edge of the forefoot. So, yeah, and she's well by that center guard too.
Yeah, very late finish too. So it appears the rocks are going to be very weight sensitive here.
Wow. Okay. So what are we likely to see here? Will they call to remove that center guard, or?
No, they're coming in to take out the one in the house. You can see about a quarter of it.
Okay.
They'll come at it with about hack weight and just see if they could just bump it and roll over and try to see if they can get the jam with the one open next time. Hitting that guard is not a bad thing either.
So that's a good plan B.
Good plan B.
Yeah. So there's the plan B shot, and that opens up.
Yeah, now they got two corner guards to come around. They can do the hit and roll. Broom in the same spot for the same throws. Good spot.
I believe this is Marley's first stone. So Marley Powers usually started curling out of Bridgewater, Nova Scotia, and just recently joined Team Breen this year. So she,
and she's a U18 champion.
She is. But most recently, she spent a lot of time playing volleyball for Dalhousie. So this is her her back into curling for this year.
And with her height, I can see why she played volleyball.
Yes, she towers over a lot of other ladies out there.
Helps her to sweep, and though she can get her body way over top and just pound them.
Okay.
So they're just looking here to peel out the guard. It's looking good.
Oh, wow. They,
Hit their own. Great opportunity for Miss Breen to come around and put a second guard on there.
so what do you think happened there, Terry? Was she just a little wide on her release, or?
No, I just think it was just a little too much ice and rocks running straight with any weight.
Okay.
She won't make that mistake twice.
Absolutely. Okay. Here's Marley's second stone. Are they calling for a high guard?
I didn't see where she wanted the guard, but it's definitely the guard. So they want a Christmas tree this a little bit.
Okay.
In term,
So yeah, what do you mean by Christmas tree?
stagger the guards.
Okay.
Famously quoted by Miss Jones. Back in her world runs and
Okay. So based on that angle, it looks like we have 3 blue stones counting for Teresa.
and as now you can see, she put the broom right beside the rock. No ice for it this time. And they're running quite straight with any weight. She hit the broom and it only curled about an inch and a half.
Yeah.
And that was just a 10-second stone.
Okay. Okay. Now we're down to skip stones. So Teresa's just about to throw her first rock.
And she's going to be putting another tight to the house guard. And with that ice, it should be about half buried behind the top guard.
Okay. It's definitely an eventful end. I'm used to sitting behind the glass watching them just throw hits for the blank.
And between the two strategies, either play the blank, learn the ice, or a lot of people just go. Let's try to take advantage of the first end.
So
You don't know it.
So are they trying to catch
Calling
either
off guard.
Calling off guard, yes. That was another great shot for Teresa, it looks like.
Great shots. Quarter covered under the other guard, so nice wide spot. It's a little high. Gives them a chance to draw in to touch the button to get their one.
Okay. So while they talk over this shot, let's just mention our broadcasting partner, Bell Fiber TV1, who's helping us broadcast this event live today.
Greatly appreciated. I know I'm watching a lot of games at home where I can relax and do it.
And there's probably a lot of people out there watching from work too, isn't there?
And I'm sure they get their work right behind, getting ready. The boss comes in the room, just let's change it up.
Yes.
So it looks like it has a chance, just on weight.
So they chose to ignore the guards and try to draw in.
Yeah, and it looks like they're late. It's just not a bad miss. There's enough room to still should be able to get in there and hopefully give her a feel for the next shot.
So it looks like Teresa and Marley are discussing whether to guard from the draw.
I would guard the draw.
Yeah.
They just tried it. It's still there. Block it off. Make their skip do something else the second time. They're looking at the angles the other side. They could come in and just do a bear tap on the one in the house with the two guards on top. They just have to just give me that top guard up by the hog line there, and it'd be possible. So it's more likely we're going to see the next shot if this is made.
I'd also be curious to know if that the blue rock in the top 12 is also biting the rings.
I'm sure we'll get a camera angle here soon. It appears it's in, but
Or at least enough to call for a measure.
yeah. I had one there just
If
recently. The same
necessary.
way you can actually see the paint,
The
the outside of the house underneath. And I said, no, I want to measure, and sure enough, it was in. Our eyes aren't perfect.
It's very true. So away goes Teresa's last stone.
Yeah. Yeah, it bounces off the frost a little bit, get a little more thing, a little curl on it. And a great guard. Broom's already down for the little tap up.
So the only shot left is to come in from the other side, isn't it?
That's it. They got to come in with a soft weight, and they got to brush it around that top guard. I don't know if they can see it on the from at home, but there's a guard up by the hog line, almost straight in line with the rock in the house. So that's now 2 events now back to back that the Primitive Rocks have not been curling. Almost the same curl as the U21s just a week and a half ago.
Well, we were here at the club the other night, and they did sand the rocks and touch them up, and that's given them a bit more curl, but it's still resulting in a different type of gameplay.
It'd be interesting to see what's going on. But at least they're consistent for everybody, so there's no excuse for nobody.
Same rocks, same rice.
Yep,
May the best team win.
the one who can adapt.
Just looks like a little bit of weight there, Terry.
Yeah, they're.
Sort of looks
I
like
believe it's going to be steel of 2. Yeah, it rock never curled at all. They were trying to do the little wick, the angle wick, and it just stayed out.
So did that just mean they came to the conclusion that the curl wasn't there to draw in?
Second, yeah.
Yeah. So just hit and
They were thinking they couldn't get around with the weight.
okay.
So good start for Breen.
Go. Yeah. Yeah. Steal a 2 in the first end.
And for Jones, it's only the first end. So on the other sheets, while we have it, on sheet B, they haven't put up the score yet from the first, but they're well into the second end.
Yeah.
Sheet C, Team Arsenal picked up the point, and on sheet E, Ladder picked up the point. I just love watching out here. We got some living legends we're having the opportunity to commentate on.
Absolutely, and a lot of up and comers too.
And then we got Ladder, the youngest team ever to qualify.
So Terry, Nancy's first rock, was that supposed to be in the house?
Yes, it was.
Okay, so a little short, and that sort of sets up a staggered double guard, doesn't it?
Yeah, so Miss Breen should be coming around it and coming house, and it should put the one force at 1 point one way or the other. At least with Jones there, they were laughing about it, and they can work with it.
Found some curl out of that rock as well by the guard, and
Like I said, you're going to have to hug these guards. There'll be a lot of picks on the guards.
it's a great shot by Amanda Simpson.
And she's quarter buried, quarter past the guard, and with the other guard on the other side, she's half covered on the other side. So, the one beauty is when you put your own guard by accident, you can take it out. And there's a good chance they'll be running a lot of guards, so this is good practice to get started.
It's Nancy's second stone, and it looks like a clean peel.
Yeah, lots of rotation and no curl. So that's when your technical comes in clean. You got to hit that broom.
So Terry, they called for a high guard here. Is there any particular reason you wouldn't want a guard biting the top 12?
Too close to put the two together for the peel out the double.
Okay.
Take the one that's top 12, but I would not be sweeping this. Get them close again and give them a chance.
That was Jocelyn Adams' first stone.
The only thing I think is they were sweeping to try to get a little more curl out of it. It was a little wide, and so they just get a little bit of this rock. They should be able to get rid of both guards. They're going to get hit a little too thin. Not at all.
So it was Mary Sue's first stone, and it was a by the guard.
That's a great opportunity for Miss Breen there to put another guard up and really put it to them. And here she goes, right on the center line. And she's only calling for about 4 feet past the hog line there.
So if
maybe 3.
If this is made well, Terry, it's going to take a couple shots to remove some of those guards to get in at the button, isn't it?
It'll take at least 2. If she comes and takes out two rocks, they put up another guard and take another one to get at least 2 more again. I keep telling the juniors, it's 1 miss. It's all it takes.
So it looks like they're having a look at seeing what the angles on the double looks like there.
Yeah, they're trying to see if they can hit the double and roll out their shooter. It's there, and it's going to be a close shot because they can easily run back that second guard into the house, which could give them a triple or put 2 in the house. All depends on the weight. Here it comes into the house.
Okay, and that's going to finish off in the back 12.
Yeah, but that should not do no damage for Jones. It's behind the tee line.
An easy smiling decision for Teresa. The guard goes back up.
It's nice when you can keep the skip, not having to worry about what they're calling and be confident.
Isn't it when you know you played a good end when your skips are on guards? So we're not quite there yet, but
No, even as the mate, I keep saying I want to throw guards. Because if I'm throwing guards, we're in a good place, in a happy place. So again, the guard was a little wide. I don't see.
It's not much of a port there if you're looking at the cameras. No?
Camera angle looks like it's just there.
They're gonna give it a whirl.
Why not? If you hit one of the guards, you're still doing a good job. So go for it, and then the guard being plan B.
This is Colleen Jones' first stone.
Looks like they're going to get the guard, but that's okay. Forces Teresa to put up another guard. So it looks like with the ice she's given it, it might give her a little peek at the one in the house. Give her a little tease. This should finish about quarter rock. Still on her side.
There we go. The front end for Team Teresa Breen, Jocelyn Adams and Amanda Simpson, we were talking earlier about how long they've curled together. Since all the way back in juniors. It's been over 16 years that they've been playing together. Started out of Moncton, New Brunswick, I believe.
Way back to the U15, U13s?
I do believe, yes.
Nice combination. They know each other quite well. And here's the double peel. And a corner guard, which is not bad for her. Especially with that little bit of curl. She's got access to the 4-foot now.
So we're currently looking at Marley and Teresa talking through what they'd like to do. And it looks like they're going to end up throwing another guard.
This would be great to watch the curl on the ice. She's literally mirroring her shot from the other side. The broom's in the exact same spot, just on the other side of the center line. And last time she only got just a half a rock shy of 2 feet.
So you're looking to see a mirror amount of curl, the same amount of curl on each side of the ice.
So if it is, it should only be 1/4 into the other side, if it's the same. But I got a funny feeling it's going to be sitting almost exactly with the one on the button right now.
Okay.
I think there's a little bit more curl on this side. And that half rock difference could make a huge difference in what their shot selection.
Yeah, that is very true. So Terry, it looks like they have a look at shot stone.
They definitely do. There's lots of room to come through there with the straight ice. This should not be a problem this time.
So are they trying for a clean pick, almost to peel it out of there?
With the ice they're getting, I'm thinking they're going to just go with hack weight and try to stay.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I had an appointment I forgot about. They'll understand. So I think they might be just touching that guard, that blue guard, which is not a bad miss. But the room was definitely there because they missed about half a rock on the other side. And it appeared to be about hack weight, so that's what they were trying to do, stay in play. Right now they're debating whether the rock on the edge is in or out.
And with a swift kick, it is gone.
That rock can come and play for angles later, so kind of important.
So we were looking to see the same shot out of Teresa?
Same shot for her. And I think she took a broom less of ice. She wants to...
She's taken away the look.
Yeah, make that guard more perfect.
I always like seeing the sweepers on and off. It sort of gives you an idea if it's where they think it's going to end up.
I like that, watching that. And when you hear the third and the skip both yelling on and off at the same time, then you know everybody's on the same page and they're all reading the same. That shot's no longer there. But she's got access to the button to give it a go. So the buttons here are the size of a rock. Most places are about a foot. These ones here are the same size of rock, so she's literally only got 3 inches to get this rock into play.
Are they having a conversation right now?
Ice and weight.
Ice and weight.
Now, at the level we play, I love the mental game on this. Say, okay, you were just heavy on this one. I bet you'd be light on the next, or usually pressure shot like this, you tend to come up a little light. Not with these girls. That fear is not in them. It's looking good. I think it might be a little bit wide, but out there it might get a little more curl. Be interested to read the ice. Still no curl on it. Weight was good, but with no curl, it would be a steal of 1. And she puts it right on the tee line. It was great weight.
Great weight.
Like I said, they don't have no fear throwing those shots.
So after the third end, we're 3-0. Breen versus Jones. Jones still with Hamlin.
So they just had a little bit of pep talk, and off they went.
New and fresh start. There we see Teresa running out to help.
Always on the first rock or two just to get her warmed up. So with that, I think I got about 15 and a half to the tee line.
Okay. So is that fast or slow on this type of ice?
That's quite fast.
Okay. What would you typically see on?
Most clubs is around 13 and a half. A lot of clubs is 13 and a half to tee line. It's typical for club play. And
okay. So for provincial ice, it slides a little bit quicker.
typically, myself watching provincials in the past, it's usually been around 14 and a half to just the hair under 15. So it's a little faster than what they're, but not the fastest I've ever seen.
So why did Team Jones choose to ignore the rock in the house?
She needs 2 points now. So she went and put up the corner guard and try to use that and come around next one. And then start peeling away the centers and try to get another bonus for a roll.
Okay.
She may even get over aggressive and put another guard on the other side. If she does that, then she'd be looking to try and get her 3 points right away.
Looks like Amanda's second stone is also biting the top 12.
So here she is. She's calling in to come in the house.
So ideally on Amanda's second stone, would they prefer that a little bit higher up? And
Definitely. Because now the easy double's there. Okay, I just got to mention when I mentioned that 15.5 to tee, that's hog to hog. Sorry about that, people.
okay, looks like they threw a lightweight double there. And,
Yeah, with the ice so fast that you don't need to throw heavy weight. Shout out to my physics teachers about the vectors and weight transfers. And how much you lose on the impact. So the double's there, and they're choosing to ignore around and come around the guard. So I think they're going to use the top of the 12 rock as a guard later on. Make it act as a corner guard for them.
so this is Mary.
Ooh, this is diving.
It definitely is.
Yeah, did it pick or something or?
Definitely made it by, but
Yeah.
I think the weight looks up a little bit, Terry.
And look how much I went. That either grabbed something or
Okay. If I grab something, you mean like a speck of dirt on the ice
Yeah.
from a gripper? Or
because she was on the broom and all of a sudden it just dove. Hard to believe, even with the new the fiber brooms and all that, the amount of picks you can still get. When I first started watching curling, I just loved watching the brooms and hearing the sound with the old corn brooms. But you'd watch a piece break off and then the rock pick. And you'd feel bad for her watching the Briars and the Scotties way back when on those days, but at least you can see that piece. With this, it's so little can change it.
it definitely doesn't take much.
You know,
So Team Breen decided to remove that yellow guard.
which is like something coming in this year, which I like. What rock is giving you the most problem? Which one you don't like from the other team? I love that, just that thought. They've already come around that guard 3 times. Get rid of it. It's not there for them anymore. And here they go. We're going to try to, exactly what I was thinking before, they're going to hit the one in the house and try to roll around the top one. So they did ignore it, and for that reason, they try to use it as a corner guard.
So was that rock just now hit a little bit too thin?
Just a little too thin. A little too thin or a little too much weight. You can take your pick. One thing I love about this game, I'm a chess player. You do a certain move, this one you need to do. You do this, you do this. this game, there's so many different other variables that there's no one perfect shot.
Right. Once you have the fundamentals down, it definitely becomes you're thinking a couple shots ahead all the time.
So I've driven my coaches nuts about what's the right shot. Well, there is no right shot. No, I need a right shot.
You usually get the answer. It depends.
Yeah, it's what you're comfortable with, what you can achieve, and you can there go what feels right for you.
So it looks like from the hack they can see a little over half of that stone.
Just over half.
Okay.
This would be a good time now to just run. If you nose the one on top, you'll get your guard, and the two of them are gone.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like that's what they're trying to do.
This is Colleen Jones' first rock.
Yeah, but with no curl, I suspect they're just going to peel out the top one. Oh, they got her.
Oh. Actually, we have one of the blues sticking around.
Yeah, and then Teresa's now going to the other side to put the force for one on.
So ideally, Teresa wants these rocks perfectly flat across the house, doesn't she?
Yeah. She does this right, and there's no way there's doubles there to blank the end. So. And putting the force on for one would be ideal for her. Get the hammer and. There's a slash and double or even freeze over to it, but for the ones at home, go after the rock that's in front of the tee line. That's the one to do most damage. You can roll over to the one behind it.
So away goes Colleen second.
This is looking good. They're not even brushing it. They're just keeping her clean. It's a little thick. At least with a little roll like this, Teresa's going to try to roll back out to the wing again. Danger of that if you hit a little too thin, roll out. If you nose her, the easier doubles there. So
Okay.
So even though that roll wasn't ideal.
Ideally, we want to keep Teresa's first stone that she's throwing now in play.
Yeah. And if she can get a little roll outside and try to make the double even harder, which would be ideal, but always try to take the positive. Colleen didn't get the roll over onto the other one, but at least it got it closer for the next time. You always got to think more than one shot ahead.
Totally agree with you.
It's very entertaining to go from competitive curling to club play, where club play everyone wants to go after that shot rock.
Yes, that's. I am a club player, so that's traditionally the first thing that pops to mind.
Yeah, it takes a while to get that out of your head too.
Good afternoon. Hope everybody can hear me.
And a couple years ago, I was skipping an able-bodied team, and they were going nuts. I was going after wasn't shot rock, and they'd argue with me. I said, "Just trust me, trust me." And then when they started seeing the results at the end, they stopped arguing with me, and we end up winning the novice league.
Okay. So your reasoning is it necessarily wasn't. It didn't set up the end well if you went after shots down.
Yeah, because then you're just looking at 1 point. Getting your multis was quite difficult. It's why a lot of people here come into the house and they try to get you to catch you to come in. Because if you come in and hit that first one, you're looking at either blank or a one pointer.
So we're just getting ready for Teresa's final stone. Just while she's getting ready, we'll just take another second here to thank our sponsor, broadcasting partner, Bell Fiber TV1, for streaming this event and making this broadcast possible.
And I can honestly say, as a person of the disabled community, where I need to take a lot of laydowns and breaks, I really appreciate the live streaming for it. I find it extremely difficult to come here at the clubs. Like I told you when we first started, just don't mind me rocking back and forth. Don't let it distract you.
It definitely doesn't distract me at all. So we're down to the final stone for Kim Kelly and Team Jones.
So now it's just a straight draw to the button.
Okay.
You only need to touch the forefoot, not quite. So there's still a little pressure on it, but
Yeah, but she had a draw weight last end,
right,
which is good.
Oh, she's chosen to take the hit. This is a great argument, even with anything. Do you draw? Are you better at your draw? You're better at your hit. So obviously, she was more comfortable with the hitting the nose and stick for the point.
So that puts Team Jones on the board. So after 3 ends, we're 3-1.
I had that same situation with my skip on at the club the other night on Friday nights. He had a choice between draw or hit. We were 4 ends in, and he hasn't thrown a draw yet. I asked him for the hit, and he ended up doing a hit and roll. So.
Okay, so for the 4th end, Team Teresa Breen now has the hammer.
And we'll see how things go from here.
The roles have been reversed.
So now it's Colleen's team putting up the centerline guard. And let's see what strategy Teresa's going to go with. Being up by a few points, she's going to come into the house, right behind the guard.
Yeah, over the last couple of ends, Amanda Simpson's had her draw weight, so we'll see if she can hide one in front of that yellow guard.
Well, that's the beauty of being the lead. You only have to worry about typically 2 shots, your guard and your draw. But having the pressure as throwing the first rocks is not an easy task either.
Absolutely. It looks like they were
a little heavy.
And the sweepers got on it a little bit too early, even though it was well by the guard.
So with the small button, that's just past the back of the button. In most clubs, that would have been still touching it. All they have to do now is draw on top, and they're sitting shot. And they'll take 2 shots to get her out.
So Nancy Delahunt's second stone. Playing the freeze.
I'm going to get a time on this. Both teams came up a little heavy, so it'd be interesting to see if they're on a fast path or.
And it didn't finish at the end. They didn't get the curl they were looking for.
No, we call that a spinner. That had 5 or 6 rotations between hog to hog.
Okay. And on straight ice,
straight ice, you should have it down to about 1.5.
Okay.
You can get a little more curl out of it. So here's Amanda throwing a typical one. This one's going to be about 3 rotations. what most teams train for. And it's really, really tough to try to slow that down because it's so much into your fundamentals. So I got 15-9 from hog to hog for this stone.
Where is it going to end up here?
Just in front of the tee line.
Okay.
So it's just touching the tee line on the front. So that's a great shot.
Yeah, looks like there's a lot of back and forth, so it's going to be a little tricky to remove, isn't it?
So a lot of people should be coming down to watch these, or at least watching online.
Yeah, absolutely.
Here with Bell and all that, and
yeah.
even as a club player, if you can't make these shots, at least you should give you a thought of what you need to call.
Yeah, it's always nice standing around, meeting new people and learning strategy from the fans.
Yeah, as club curlers, you're 50% spent for the shots, and these guys low end the 70. Most of them are typically in the 80s, 90s.
Yes,
so.
And the top curlers at this event here are definitely curling in the 80s and 90s.
I don't think anybody's shooting under 80.
Terry, do you know if there's an official statistician for this event?
Sitting a few over to our left, about five people over.
Okay.
Someone's taking the percentages and all that for the awards and all that later. And
I learn something new every day. Waiting for a camera.
So nice little guard.
Yeah. So is Breen
taking that guard right out of there.
Are they sitting shots 1 and 2?
They're just sitting 1, I do believe. That would help us, wouldn't it?
I'm multiple jobs here at the Dartmouth Curling Club. I'm controlling the screen upstairs as well.
Yeah, we're just multitasking today. So yeah, they're definitely just sitting 1. So Jones is very happy just to let her have that 1. So Jones will probably put up that guard again.
Okay.
No, she's calling for the hit now. We're up to mate's first stone.
So is Colleen going to try to get those 2 blue stones moving and?
Yeah, try to remove the back one and get the other one open a little more, so she's got more access to it. And if this shot's made well, she'll be sitting 3 rocks in play. She could be shot rock, but she'll be definitely second and third.
Getting quite a bit of curl out of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, she didn't get shot out of it. But as you can see, the force is on for her for Breen to take 1.
So the defensive call for Teresa now is to guard this and hold on to her 1, or
put the guard up, or even freeze to the one there on the center line side, and then she can punch it out the next time, which will give her guard. It won't allow her to get in and protect that point, and there's no it'll be very difficult for her to knock out that back blue.
Yeah, Teresa called Marley down to sort of talk over their options.
Yeah, and they're doing really good for time, so.
Terry, typically how much time she will allow to complete an end?
They're given on the clock 3 minutes and 3 minutes and 50 seconds per end.
That's thinking time.
Thinking
right?
time. So 4 minutes is a good way to think. So they're in the 4th end now. There's 6 ends left. They need 24 minutes when you end this end.
So based on simple math, we're doing okay for time.
So in a wheelchair game, we get 38 minutes for, or 36 minutes for 8 ends. So we get 4 minutes an end plus two extra minutes. The way I look at it.
So what did Teresa end up calling here for her shot?
I think she's going to give it a little tap.
Okay.
They were calling an option if we're a little heavy this side or that, what to go. So I think she's looking to get it off the button a little bit and still have those two rocks in as a tight guard. With that ice, she definitely needs to touch the rock. If not, hers will be fully exposed. She's a little outside the broom.
Okay. Both the sweepers are on it.
Yeah.
Looks like it's a little bit light.
Yeah, like I said, so now hers is exposed for Jones to go after. Now Jones should just freeze up in there, and she's called for it. And where do you put the press on?
So if Colleen makes this perfectly,
Perfect.
she could be sitting shots 1 and 2. Or she has to bump
She'll
it a little bit.
she'll be sitting shot, and now she'll have 2 rocks on either side. All she has to touch is either one, and that back one's gone. So it gives her many options to get rid of that back blue. And as well as Breen won't be able to keep that rock in place. She'll have to come in and smash out, open it up to try to get something in there again.
So curling here is going on all the way until Sunday. So we can encourage everyone who's available to stop into the Dartmouth Curling Club. $5 at the door, or $30 for an events pass. So the more the merrier. Come on down and watch some good curling.
Yeah, I love coming to these events. Just you get to watch all the sheets, not just the one online.
Yes, sitting upstairs commentating, you sort of get guilty for watching other sheets as well.
And we got some great home cooking in the back in the kitchen. Get you a nice little soup, get you warmed up.
That's very true.
So this is coming a little hotter than she wanted. Colleen's waving them way off.
Okay. They do move the blue stone.
Yeah, there's a little bit of separation there now. So now you got to come and see there. She's coming in and just try to corner freeze on that and get her out for the next one. Where it's perfectly behind that guard that's in the top of the 12. If you corner freeze to it, it gives you exposure to be able to hit that rock next time.
That's true. And it also it protects currently second shot of Team Breen.
So the next time they can come in and whack their blue, it'll remove that yellow, and that blue that they're about to put up will stay in play.
And this goes back to what you're saying about not necessarily always chasing shots down.
Yeah. This looks a little heavy.
Jocelyn Adams just cleaning the rock.
Yeah.
Amanda's communicating what she sees in regards to weight.
Yeah, so they're going to kiss that yellow a little bit.
Might keep rolling.
Yeah. They're a short rock, but that doesn't really make that much of a difference right now. just from what they're talking about, their second option is what I would be calling is the tap and roll. The first one was just to hit it straight back.
And sit there in front of the button.
Yeah. There's B's and C's in here. As long as you make contact that rock, you almost can't do something bad.
Would you ever consider blasting that too and trying to make both blues go away?
Yeah, if you just hit just outside of the center of the rock there, both blues are gone. And I think that's what they're calling for. And they're just putting back a rock that they just moved. Try and put the broom down. I'm guilty with that one wheelchair.
Bump rocks from time
Bump
to
rocks
time.
in the back of the 12.
Okay. This is the first of Kim Stones.
Yeah, it's looking like they're going to get the double. It's very, very close.
Ooh. Well, they got the Plan C double. They got the one out the back.
Yeah, and hit and stick was not a bad option. It makes it very hard for Teresa to draw in. If she removes it, there's a chance she can hit her own blue in the back. So it's not the easiest shot in the world.
I'd be curious to see if Teresa plays sort of a hit and a roll.
That's what I'd be calling for the soft hit and that little roll back towards the center line. So I can either tap it up next time or let them have that 1 point on the outside.
And that would get you back to the same situation as what she was calling on Marley's second shot.
I find it interesting. Kim was up there and reaching for the broom, talking about their next shot while in behind the other two.
So, Terry, what could go wrong here? Because there's a lot of yellow rocks in play.
The worst thing that can happen, they can hit it on the outside side of the rock, just off center, and jam it back up into the blue and remove their blue. If they do that, I'm pretty sure Colleen will put up the guard, or even tighten the house and remove any chance of them getting into the button. So straight back is their friend here, or anything to the end towards the center line. So doing so is why they probably give themselves right in the middle of the rock, because anything on the inside of it, they're doing good.
So watch Amanda call line here while Jocelyn sweeps. So if they're going for a piece.
So they just did the call, the shot I thought I would try. It shows their rock out a little bit. Really hard for Jones to get that rock out.
Yeah, is there any real way of moving both those blues in the forefoot?
No, they're looking at right now the angle over, which is there. There's the freeze right in between the two blues, which would be an incredibly good shot. And really risky to get, really hard to get out. One they haven't been looking at is they can hit the outside yellow on the 8 foot there, and they can bump in the number 3 stone. The one there at about the 2 o'clock position, they can actually bump it in, hit off their own yellow, and it would roll right between the two blues.
Could they see enough of that yellow in the 8 foot from the hack? Sort of might be.
I'm looking at it I'm right over top of it on where I'm sitting, and there's just enough.
Okay.
They can see at least a quarter of it, and you don't need to hit it with a lot of weight. So a little hack shot would do. So it looks like they're going with the hit and roll. So they just want to get hit this at about the 1 o'clock, 1:30 position. And that yellow should be gone. The one behind it should be gone, and they should roll right in front of the blue in the back of the house.
Okay, this is Team Jones's final stone.
Yeah, this is a little thick. Unfortunate.
Okay, so it's just going to be nose.
Yeah.
So who's can you see who's second shot? It's
It's really, really close.
if we look at the body language of Team Breen, we may be able to figure it out.
Well, I got Amanda's father right beside me, and I'm sure he'll say he's sitting too blue. And being objective, I think it's too blue.
Andy Simpson says too blue.
Yeah. And he got up and took a good look at it, so it's looking really, really, really close.
So do they just hit for a little roll for their three?
They're just going to hit and roll and get it. If they can actually get between and actually touch that yellow on the other side and take out the doubt. It's a little tight, but it's worth a shot. And they don't need to throw anything more than backline and hack at this. She must be thinking she's hitting 2, because it looks like she's just going just for off and nose with a soft weight. So she just wants to hit and stick with a little roll inside, very little.
Because as long as she's in the red paint with the stone, it will be counting for a point.
Yeah. So based on her call, I think she thinks she's hitting 2. So they're not brushing hard, so...
See if the sweepers take a look.
Yeah. Teresa seems to be all right. There we go. They just went for the dead draw.
And it looks like Teresa Breen has her draw weight.
Yeah. And they're definitely going to measure the other 2 by looks of it. So they're definitely 2 blue.
We'll let you know as soon as we know. It looks like they're breaking out the measuring stick.
And with this, I'm going to take a 2-minute break. I'll be right back.
Okay, looks like they decided that was 3. So that results in a 6-1 score after the 4th end. Team Breen is sitting in a good position going into the 5th end. They're up by 5 without hammer. And out comes Teresa to help sweep and warm up a little bit. And this rock ends up just on the top 4 foot. The first stone by Nancy of Team Jones just stopped short of the house, so it's a nice tight guard. chances are Amanda and Team Breen will throw. No, it looks like she's throwing this right through. They're keeping it clean this end. So Nancy's throwing another corner guard, so they're trying to set up to score multiple points.
We have the winning number for the 50-50 ticket. The last 3 digits are 202.
So Terry, if you win the 50-50 right now, are you going to call it quits on me?
I already won the 50-50 at the club this morning.
Oh, you won this morning? I think someone just won upstairs. Yeah, based on the commotion around us.
Just as I was sitting down there calling it, I pulled out my numbers. I didn't win.
So while you were away, we had Amanda throw her second shot through the house to keep it simple, and we have two nice. We had two guards set up.
Yeah,
by Team Jones.
And if you know, she came in the house first one and try to get her to come in right away.
So in recreational curling, throwing it in the house right away, that baits the other team to come in, doesn't it? And chase you.
80% of the teams will come in and hit that. The smart teams will go put out in the wings. You want to play a little aggressive, you can come freeze onto it. Like I said, there's too many options.
Yeah. So
there's no one right answer.
So Mary Sue Ratfoot put another corner guard back up. And Teresa will call to have it promptly removed.
Yeah, and it's the guard that's doing her more damage, so she's getting rid of that one first. The other also, she's got the other guard, she can do a double.
So ideally you'd want the shooter to
leave
too as well.
So that was a mistake to just nose hit there. It's not her own guard for Jones, but it's a guard she can use, and she's already used the other team's guard already once today. So we'll go, keep forgetting to go across for the scores, but Pinckney and McDermott. Yeah, it's tied 1-1 after 5. It's 1-1 for Brothers Arsenal after 5.
Then we have Lou Dessert and McAvoy.
And it's also 1-1.
Yeah, a lot of blank ends up there.
I doubt that one's going to stay 1-1 after 5. They're down to the very last rock for La Dessert. And she's facing at least 3 on the thing within the 4 foot. So really close to the button. So
we'll update that score in a minute or two. So currently Team Breen is shot stone.
And she won't be for long if the shot's made.
So we're looking to see a hit and roll here.
Hit and roll to the right over top of the yellow by the looks of it with that ice.
And that's they're trying to take advantage of that blue guard that Jocelyn left behind, aren't
they threw that to the soft. They're just coming around straight around that guard. They're leaving that one on the button.
So why would you choose to leave that on the button instead of hitting it?
It's not causing you any problem yet.
Because it's wide open.
It's wide open.
Okay.
And she needs multiple points, so she needs to come around the guard. So Another one in league play. A lot of people would got to hit that. It's there. I thought she might have hit that one, and my shot would have been to hit that and roll behind the guard. She just chose to draw straight around the guard anyways.
Yeah. And right now they're lying second and third shot.
Yeah. You don't need to be the number one shot now. You just need to be at number one at the end. And how do you get your extra points is build up your other ones now to go after that later. It gets tricky because if you miss a shot, now they have a chance to get in there and cover that up, and you give up a lot of steals that way. But it's the best way to try to produce your multis.
Yeah, because right now we also have 3 Breen stones in the house.
Yeah. But Jones is sitting second stone. So she's not too concerned of the other two on the outside. And again, she's coming around that guard again, which is not her guard.
Yeah, this is Colleen's second shot.
Yeah.
She had draw weight.
Ooh, she just racked on the guard just a little bit.
Had draw weight in her first shot, but just rubbed there.
Yeah, and she had to wait for top 8, which is what she was going for. So Teresa's pretty much got 2 options. She can put a guard on top of that and try to force that one she has.
So what would be the safer play here in Team Breen's situation when you're up by 5?
I wouldn't mind coming in, drawing into that one on the back yellow.
And just sort of eliminate it from counting as a second shot?
Yeah. With more room for error, I'd call the guard up. You have 17 feet to play with to put a guard on that. Whereas if you come in on top, that's a very difficult shot. But it also lets the other team know you're going aggressive. The safe shot's a guard, and they're throwing the guard.
So if this guard is made perfectly, what does that leave Team Jones?
She has to peel the guard out or try to draw around. And my suspicion is she'll take out that guard. Yeah, she's got 2 left, so she hasn't. They haven't thrown yet, so I'd probably guess they'll take the guard out. And this guard's really close. They might even try to do the double run back.
Yeah, the sweepers are not touching it.
No, so this is a little too tight. At least the angle's not straight back.
Yeah. They let it.
Yeah.
They probably talked about it on the way down and let it overcurl.
Yeah, which is not a Christmas tree effect again, which is really good for her. This is where the physics comes into play. You got to angle off that blue, and then your shooter's going to keep a lot of weight because you're not going to hit that blue with a lot. They try to nose that yellow to bring it back in. So if it was straight up with each other, so backline weight would be all you need. Hack would be to remove the blue stone out of play. But backline just to remove it beyond the other yellow on the other side, so that way you're sitting 1-2. But because of the angles here, you need to throw a 10-second stone at this because you're going to lose a lot of weight on the angle.
So this shot involves moving a lot of granite.
Yeah, and you're just slicing, so you're losing a lot of weight on the transfer.
Okay. Okay. Yeah,
and a lot of shots, it comes down to what weight you need to throw to them.
So if made correctly, this will leave Team Jones sitting
1-2.
1-2, yeah.
1-2 with a blue guard on top, and their yellow might guard the outside blues, but they're not worried about it. So they made it, but they didn't make it straight back. But now for Jones, the 4-foot's now open for her. So she's got herself out of the mess.
So it looks like what Teresa's calling for just a drawing into the edge of the 4-foot.
Yeah. Yeah, and I still like that Christmas tree thing, but most people nowadays call it the staggered guard.
Staggered guard, okay.
Yeah, so being from Nova Scotia with Colleen Jones, I call it the Christmas tree.
To just give you an update on sheet E when we were talking about Ledesser and McAvoy. McAvoy scored 4 that end. And was that a steal, Terry?
That's a steal of 4.
Okay, so the score now there is 5-1 after 5 ends.
Yeah, and the other team was hitting 3, so I suspect that Ladisher crashed on that guard and brought it in. So Teresa's just trying to go around that one and try to make it a tougher shot for her draw.
So the sweepers are on it pretty hard.
And that looked like good weight to me, so I don't know.
Yeah, you'd be right, Terry. It's a great weight. It just I don't know if she wanted to.
She wanted to bury behind the guard.
Yeah, she wanted to get a little curl there.
Yeah. Half bury would have been great because then you would have jammed it up on the back one, and she would have not taken that risk and just done a straight draw, and she would have to get full 4.
Mm-hmm. So we're looking at a nose hit for 2 for Team Jones, aren't we?
Just a nose hit for 2. Yeah, to go back to Colleen is not skipping this game because if her team goes on, she will not be here for the Scotties.
She will be commentating at the Olympics in South Korea.
Yeah. So it's a great opportunity for someone else to step up and get the game.
There we go. And so Kim Kelly made her shot. Didn't nose it, but rolled a bit. That's good for 2. So we're 6-3 after 5 ends of play. You're watching the 2018 Scotties Tournament of Hearts here in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia. We're going into the 5th end break, so we're going to take a short timeout, and we'll be back with you shortly.
Welcome back, folks.
Just starting the sixth end here at the Dartmouth Curling Club in the draw 5, team Teresa Breen versus team Colleen Jones. My name is Nathan, and I'm here with Terry, and we'll be your commentators again for the next 5 ends.
So now after the break, the ice should be a little bit heavier than what they were, so the first couple shots should come up a little late. It's really hard to remember that. So it's typically about a half second slower.
Just because the ice has been sitting?
Hasn't been touched for 5 minutes.
Okay.
5-6 minutes, so.
So it's just frosting up a little bit.
Yeah. So mentally, I go into place. I said it's first end. First end ice. It's a little faster than that typically, but it's where I go in my head to try to get closer to what the ice is doing.
Okay. This is Amanda Simpson's first stone.
And they're coming in again to try to keep it at 1 point, one way or the other.
This looks I was
That's
going to say a little bit
great
heavy,
shot.
but that doesn't get any better than that.
No. They're almost identical to the guard out front. The only drawback is that guard is quite far up there, so it's not too hard to come in and give that little tap and make it exposed. Removing it would be difficult.
So what kind of weight is Nancy throwing at this?
Nancy's just throwing back line to half. So all she's trying to do is remove it from the front there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Looks like did they get the little curl that they need? Or?
No, she's trying to freeze to it.
Oh.
Yeah. Just a little bit on the outside. So when a rock is perfectly buried underneath, if you half freeze onto it, you now get a half a rock exposed that you can hit to help you remove it. It's like a tool instead of...
You're setting yourself up for a shot further on in the end.
Yeah, I want to do a hand gesture so bad, but the people watching us can't see them. So you basically half freeze to it, and then your rock's half open, and it gives you a lot of room to hit.
As we see Marley and Jocelyn come down the ice, they're also doing hand gestures to give some feedback about the weight of the rock.
So what Breen did is just beat Colleen to the punch and move the rock out, because all she's looking at is trying to force the point. So her own rock was now the problem, and she moved it away herself. Now, even though she was shot rock, that rock would have been very easy to remove. So now Breen should just remove that rock. Just off center, she should be able to get rid of the one in the house as well. Okay. But the primary is just get rid of that one. So we have an update on sheet B.
Pinckney versus McDermott.
And McDermott picked up 2.
So they're now sitting 3-1 after 6 ends.
And it was a steal of 2. As well with Brothers Arsenal. Arsenal stole 3. No, my correction. That was she got 3. She had hammer. Now they're just trying to, Colleen is just trying to put up the guard again.
So we're currently seeing Colleen Jones sweeping and Kim Kelly communicating with the house.
Yeah. needing a bunch of points, they want this just to touch the house. And with the outside blue, preferably a little bit deeper in that one. So. That says they're just calling for the straight peel on this one, I do believe.
The first peel that Jocelyn threw, it stuck around too. Just hanging on to the top 12.
Nope, they're calling for the double. Yeah, it's going to be really tight to get.
A little bit of jam there, but one yellow's removed from play.
That's one of the biggest problems about going for the double. If you end up jamming it up, you just give them their guard back, and they'll just put another guard on top. Now they have two. So the risk reward.
So the safer play is just calling for a straight peel there.
I made the announcement upstairs and was advised that the speaker upstairs doesn't come down yet. Apologize. Thank you so much for all your support.
So now, I do believe we have a timeout, or at least they're just getting together. No, we have a timeout. The clocks have stopped.
So they're currently having a conversation now about how they might go about stealing the end.
About how to steal it, how to force if they're not going to steal it, make sure they only force the one. Because if you go too aggressive for the steal, you may end up giving up a bunch. So it's the risk reward, what we're willing to do. If they just want to go for the straight steal, you can just the stagger guard Christmas tree, and the pressure's on for Breen to get her one. They can be aggressive and come around the other side and sit two. The safest thing to do would probably be to take out that rock that's in the 8 foot there and just make it go away and make it really hard to score. Hit and roll in and try to get underneath the guard. And,
so it looks like that's what they decided on.
That's the safest call. You can't score if you don't have rocks in play. Although the two biters on top will probably come into play that way.
So you're saying at some point Teresa may opt to run those back.
Yeah, angle roll ends. Try to remove it and get a shot stone out of it. This might run a little too much, but no, great shot.
That's great.
Buried right behind the top yellow guard, which they can't see online. You can see on this shot they can.
Go. A great camera crew with Bell.
Yeah. So the rock giving Teresa the problem is that top guard, and it's going. Like in golf, you want to hit a spot, or not hit a spot, put the broom where you don't want to hit, which is straight down the center, and it should give you your roll.
Just rubbed that blue on the way by.
You want to miss the tree, you aim at the tree. Which that lower rub is now exposed the back one on the top of the button by a little bit more. So instead of being about a third, it's about half exposed. And it looks like the double's there. I don't know if they're calling for the straight guard on top. I don't know if they picked that up or they're just...
Okay. They're not going to try to get another one into play?
They might. With that ice, they're either calling for the guard on top or they're coming back right on top of that button and try to beat Teresa to it.
Because there's almost a pocket there now, isn't
there? Yeah, so I'd come into the pocket right now and take it away from her. it's also a good way to get your rocks in play. Now, with them sweeping like this, they call for the guard. Rock over the hog line.
Yeah.
But that's all you need. And
Yeah, Kim Kelly's a little bit tired after that long sweep.
yeah.
Or short of breath, not tired.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure she won't have to go to the gym tonight. Now, a lot of people don't think this sport's a tough sport, but when I was playing university football, I could not curl. I couldn't come out of the hack. I couldn't bend over.
Okay. That's
I had bad knees, and I couldn't come out of the hack. But yet, I could do a 2-point stance out of the line. So
we're just a little
she
wide.
flashed it right by.
Okay, that was an unforced error for Team Breen. So she had the opportunity there to make the double and remove both of Team Jones's yellow stones.
Yeah. So Jones needs to put up. She puts another guard up. Steel's looking really good for her. The only thing they're arguing is which way they want to put the guard on. Kelly wants to put it on top to keep the double from happening. And I don't know the lady's name in the house with her. I don't know which one it is. She's not.
Sorry, I think that's Mary Sue.
I think it's Mary Sue, but I'm not positive. Or do you guard up the other side and guard the pocket? So here's one of those things. There's two options for Team Breen to do after this. Yeah, good. They've called it. I would come over this way because the other way Breen can only remove the two, and this way Breen can come in for her one. So I like this. Take away the one that gets Breen out of more trouble. Get out of the trouble quicker. Yeah, someone mentioned that's Nancy in the house. The other thing is they just try to do that double, and putting the guard on that side would prevent them from trying the same shot twice. This is a little deep, but it's going to turn out to be quite well. That takes away that draw on that side. It
Also takes away that run back too, doesn't it?
Yep. So now you got basically three guards on top of the two. And there's all three are staggered, so there's no run back double on these.
Okay, it looks like Marley and Teresa are talking about drawing in.
So they're going to have to play that one they just threw so tight in order to get in that button with this little curl. It's going to be quite. This is a very entertaining shot. Now the pro misses on this is if she doesn't make it, she has it for the tap up for the next time, for the angle raise in, which is a bonus. If she makes the shot perfect, then Colleen has a tough shot to get it out. So aggressive call, but I like it. And especially with good sweepers.
You were saying earlier in the broadcast that Jocelyn and Amanda, the front end for Team Breen, have been playing together for over 16 years now.
Well, I didn't want to say how many years either, because then you can start adding it up for how long they've been, how old they are. But
well, Jocelyn celebrated her 29th birthday twice yesterday.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, they were mentioning it yesterday that good birthday present to be out here playing. I know I was at the Nationals for my 40th, and I got a ice cream cake big enough to serve everybody.
There you go. It definitely takes a lot of dedication and commitment to play here for the week. And Yeah, looks like Teresa just came up heavy on that draw attempt.
And a lot of things in life, just in general, happens to people. Like I don't know. Last year, my grandmother passed away just a couple days before our provincials. If I pull out as the mate, it makes it rough for the team.
No, that's very true.
Yeah. And the extra stress is you got the loss of a family member and commitment to team members. I have a great team. David had no problem. They said right away, you pull out, that's no problem. You got family. My beliefs allowed me to go without it interfering with me.
Yeah,
So
there's just a lot of family, friends, employers that support all these ladies here.
yeah.
Okay, so what are they calling here, Terry? What are we expecting to see?
Anything from T-line to a guard is good for them here. Preferably the top 8 to the guard. Especially where Teresa just tried to come down that shot and just block it off. A couple years ago in the juniors, we somebody lost their one of their parents. Literally a couple days before the event.
So does that guard there take away the draw?
Unfortunately, it doesn't. So it gives Teresa another chance to go in.
So it does do.
It's still out there a little more. It makes the hole smaller, and hopefully Colleen can use it as keep it in the mental game to keep it away. But
so there's a lot of risk with this draw, because if she's heavy again, she's giving up a steal of 3, isn't she?
Yeah. And after throwing heavy and going outside to a path that they have not used, she's going to throw a little less weight, and this path hasn't been gone down. So combination between fresh ice and a little less weight maybe end up being a little too short. Hopefully the sweepers can pick up on it, and they're the ones that read the ice and can tell what's going on.
So definitely watch Jocelyn and then Amanda communicate with Marley in the house as to how heavy the rock is.
Yeah, they're definitely going to play close to that frost line. So, it didn't get out to the frost line, so it should be all right. So it stayed about a rock and a half outside the frost. So
we just had the sweepers.
Yeah, now they're just trying to
switch there and switch again. So the weight's pretty good.
Yeah.
Are we going to get the finish?
And this is why, well, they reduced it to 1 for sure.
Yeah.
Or 2, yeah.
I don't know. We're going to have to
just 1 for sure.
Wait for the call here by the thirds.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 1 yellow. Yeah. Which is the thing, you gave her the chance to throw the same shot twice, but at least it wasn't the same line. So.
No.
So that's a steal of 1 for Jones.
Okay. Yeah. So after the 6th end, we have Breen leading Jones 6-4.
And as I can see, there's no updates across the sheets. Yeah, so now this game's back in play.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have Team Breen in the huddle talking about how to stay out of trouble for ends to come.
Yeah. And the team emotions by looks of it are pretty good. So obviously it's good talks.
Yeah.
They're staying positive with everything.
Yeah. And Team Jones just had a pep talk to reaffirm that they're still in it, and there's still a lot of a game to come.
Yeah, and I went to my first nationals with football attitude, trying to go with the extra adrenaline. Yeah, we got this. Let's kill them.
That's how you throw a rock through the house.
Throw quite a few through the house that way, and I learned very quickly it's not the spot to get the adrenaline pumped up and going. I don't know how truly how the people can come out and sweep, and then get in the hack and throw a rock.
Two different.
Because your heart's going, the blood's flowing, So
What's good to watch is every sweeper usually has a throw-in routine. So you'll see them spinning the rock, sweeping off the bottom, getting in that mindset to throw a rock.
yeah, get that zen going.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, I think good training for them would be biathlon in the summertime, run in and shoot, because go get a BB gun, go run in the woods, and run a bit, stop and shoot, and then go at it again.
Yeah, that's definitely an interesting training strategy.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have Amanda Simpson throwing a draw. This is Teresa's coming out to sweep, but it looks like it's by the guard.
Yeah, so they're still playing aggressive, coming in the house and trying to reduce. As you see, they gave up the one doing that last time.
Mm-hmm.
But usually there's no maximum 2 doing that, one way or the other.
Right.
There was a junior team a few years back that I asked, they were doing that intentionally, and why are you coming around the center line guard? And they said they're playing for the one with the one miss and try to get 2 on one end only. Yeah.
It's definitely an interesting way to look at it.
Yeah. Because it's a very aggressive way to play.
Mm-hmm. Well, here's another aggressive call, isn't there? They're coming around the rock that Amanda just threw.
Yeah, well, for them, they're trying to steal, so that's a good call. Because now, basically, they have 2 guards up in front.
Yes.
Because the Amanda's rock wasn't deep enough.
So the only thing that's saving Team Breen here is there's a little bit of the rock showing from the hack. So
Right, so now they'll come with a soft hit and just try to bump that out and try to have the rock sit on the out in the 8 foot, even the 12 foot they could. It looks like they're going to hit their own in the house.
it looks like they're on that blue.
Yeah, the only thing is they're just going to skim it, so are they going to be able to sit in the back of the house? No. That would have been nice to sit the 2 rocks for them. At least try to get something positive out of that. The other positive thing is they moved the blue over, so now it's only 1 guard on front.
Yes.
So it's a lot easier to get after that one in the house now. Yeah, and it's be interesting to see, because now we're into the 7th end. With all this brushing and all that, you're going to start getting ruts and flat spots, and rocks are going to start doing things different on different runs. And
just because some of the pebble is starting to wear off the ice.
Yeah, I know some of the great teams we play against got a good sweep, and you got to be right in the same path. They very narrow sweeping, and so they're barely doing anything over the path of the rock. You can actually see the ice where it's cleaned off where they cleaned the frost off.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it looks like Teresa's electing to remove the guard. So Jocelyn Adams' first shot.
Yeah. Didn't quite get the double, but that would have just been a bonus.
But in was it the last end or the end before that she nosed a peel attempt and it left
the guard on top.
The guard.
So that's the thing. The double is a bonus. You want that one by itself. Yeah. I was just about to say they're going to put the guard on the center line again, try to get the stagger guard. Trying to block out that draw in.
Yeah, there's not much sweeping on this.
No. That little bump's okay. The one in the house was buried completely by a quarter with that rock, and they were just trying to block off the path. And now it's almost right between the 2, and nice and wide. So, a really good plan B on that.
Mm-hmm. Another good
And-
throw by Jocelyn.
Yeah.
Oh, he may actually.
Open up the center line.
Yeah.
So now it'll be interesting what Colleen does. Yeah. Because at this point, do you put the guard up and try to go for the steal, or do you remove the blue and stop them from getting to? So, do you want to steal the one, or do you want to for the chance of giving up two, or remove it and force them to one? So we'll see which strategy she picks. It's strongly looking like she wants to keep them to one. And with that much room between them, this is not the easiest shot in the world. You've got to almost nose this perfectly. Yeah. There was a lot of space between those two rocks.
So it looks like Teresa's calling for a hit and roll now.
Yeah, so now she wants to hit and roll and try to get her two that way and get rid of the rock that's giving her a problem. The problem is they just ran the double on that side or ran it back, so gives the other team a little bit of confidence to try to run back to remove the blue again. This is looking like a really nice shot. I think it'll be right between the two. So,
It came over about halfway, didn't it? So you can still see a little bit from the hack.
yeah, so now you just want hack weight at this because it's just covered over a little bit, so you can't throw a 10 and stay in play.
Yeah, but there's no way to remove this blue and get underneath, is there?
No.
And hide.
No, not with this low curl. If they wanted to get there and hide, they could run back the yellow and then get a guard and remove it at the same time, but there's no need for that, so just get rid of it.
Yeah.
Again, with the soft weight, so you can keep the rock in play. Still trying to force them to take their one. The unfortunate part of this is the rock will probably be pretty close to the same spot it was before. No, they're on their guard on top, so this is a break for Breen. Oh, well,
No,
sweeping. They got her.
I think that throw was saved by the sweepers.
Yeah, I think someone owes someone some drinks for that one.
Yes.
Because that looked like it was going to hit from halfway down. And see, Teresa just called the two shots, and then she took the hit roll to the outside.
Mm-hmm.
But she also, the first shot she looked at was that run back double.
Okay, here
I
comes.
said there's always options.
Absolutely. Here comes Marley's second stone.
Yeah, so this is looking good. They're going to hit this a little too more solid than they wanted to. They wanted to get right out there, change the angle, but at least it's away. And I keep forgetting these provincial rocks are very lively. They have a small striking band.
Okay.
So the energy transfer is
It doesn't take much to make them bounce around, does it?
yeah. Thank you. I was at one nationals. The rocks were so dead that a 7-second stone and rocks were staying in play because they were just spongy.
I was wondering about that too.
Yeah, it's no roll away.
This is Kim Kelly's first stone. First of the skip stones.
Yeah, I do believe she's going to run out the other side because it's just going to touch. No.
Okay.
So I'm assuming that the back blue is out shooting that top yellow because Breen went right after that yellow without trying to do a double.
Yeah, that's sort of the. Was
That's
running
usually a telltale sign that that black one's out shooting.
Yeah, that's the question that was running through my head that I was trying to articulate.
Yeah, don't bother doing a double if you don't need to.
So this is just as straightforward as hitting and standing around.
Just hit and stick. And like I said, just one little miss. That was just a bare miss.
The sweepers are on it because it's quieter weight.
Yeah, and they touched the frost line too, so that's why they probably got a little more curl.
Okay. A roll there. Pops out the other side.
Yeah. See now, do you remove it and let them have their end for their chance of two, or they hit and roll and try to force them to one, or freeze to it and force them to one?
So let's see what they decide here.
Yeah. They're definitely throwing soft weight, whatever they're throwing. To me, I'm guessing they're trying to do a soft hack, hit and roll behind with this. Because it's a little too little ice for a freeze.
Right.
Yeah.
So they're playing this rock close by that yellow guard.
Yeah. They're going to try to roll behind that yellow guard and force Teresa to draw for one. Unfortunately, Teresa can't hit that nose on the top either to sit for two, so this is a really nice shot.
Is it hanging out there a bit, Terry?
Just a little bit. They didn't even try to directionally sweep that, so. It's now just an open hit for two. But I like the call. It was, but
they just didn't get the curl they were looking for, did they?
No. And Teresa's still got to make this. If it hits it with the lively stones we were just talking about, that if she doesn't hit this right, you can roll out real easy.
Yeah.
I don't think she was second.
I got a funny feeling she's just going to throw a firm hack or like a freeze to the backboard, just enough to make sure the rock is gone, but to give her a chance to stay around.
And there's a little bit of argument around us upstairs as to is that Breen stone on the ring's second shot. So we might even see a measure here.
I'm surprised no one's taking bets on it. So this is looking really good. It looks like it might be just a little bit inside of the nose.
No, the
sweepers
held it there.
Yeah,
So
no harm in sweeping on that one.
No, they kicked the blue away in a hurry on the outside, so we will. It was only a hit for one. So after 7 ends of play, Teresa Breen is 7, Colleen Jones is 4.
And with that, we had on sheet B, McDermott stole one. Now they're up by 4-1. On sheet C, Arsenal's up 4-2, and has hammer. And the last one is
Ludisser
stole.
Yeah, they're slowly picking their way back into the game against McAvoy.
Yeah, after giving up that 4, they're only down by 2. They've been playing quite well this week, and
they're just been coming up short a little bit.
Yeah.
But a young team, and they will.
We will see them again.
Absolutely.
Really helps them to know what they need to get to this level. I know coming out of my own club, that team, I talked to them a little bit about stuff like that. It's just like, you got nothing to lose.
Oh, that's right. They do curl out of Lakeshore, don't they? Yeah.
It's just come here, have fun.
It's definitely a great learning experience. There's you have the best of the best in the province here right now.
I know. I go to different tournaments with wheelchair, and what we learn every time, it pays dividends. So I can only imagine how they're going to come out of this afterwards.
Yes.
What they've learned.
That's very true.
I know. I'll talk to them about it. So see what they learned. And
So Amanda's second stone.
Man, I used to coach the girls and I did that. They'd kill me.
nice shot. Didn't have to be in the house, but
Yeah, top 12, guarding the one covering the button.
I like how that Teresa's getting them come in right away. They don't need the points, and almost like stick rules where you can't touch the first rocks. They know they're not going to come in and hit that rock, so why bother putting it up as a guard and come around? Come in the house first, then put your guard on top. It's a little easier to put the guard on than it is to come around.
It was just like one of those shots.
Yeah, so
So we're currently in the 8th end. And
Yes.
how important is it that Colleen Jones gets at least 2 points here?
she needs to score. It's the at even end in order to take control of the game. She needs to score on the even end. So she needs to get. She needs that one minimum. Extremely better for her. She gets the 2. So that's why they put the corner line guard and came around. Her best chance of getting 2 is just do the strategy she just did. Unfortunately, the rock hung out there and it's fully exposed. So Teresa's going to come down and whack it out.
Okay.
I was surprised she came in the one in the house, not after the guard. But just make the rock go away. Yeah, this gives Kelly another chance to come around again, or Kim to come around again, and or which one?
Oh, this is Mary Sue now.
Mary Sue. So Mary Sue's just come around that guard again. And give her a chance to do another shot at this. So if you notice, I don't know if they can pick it up. Yeah, you can pick it up on the TV. There's frost down the center line. So used to coming outside in that it hasn't been touched for a while.
Oh, so yeah. as a result, that ice surface is slower.
It's a little slower. It's very easy to get caught doing that. But you can see the bands of where they're trying to draw in from on the other sides, which is quite interesting. So I'm assuming with the warmer weather outside that we've got a little bit of a humidity issue today.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah.
So is Jocelyn playing the same shot here?
Yeah, she's just making that rock go away. And hitting that guard's okay too, so.
She's by the guard.
Yeah.
Oh, straight to nose.
You can't score if the rocks are not there.
So because she knows that, does that leave a double there?
The double is there. But right now, you would probably want to just hit that one and roll on top of the one in the house. Or on the button.
I think that's immediately what Nancy is calling for.
If you make the double, you're exposed, so.
Okay.
Yeah, great shot.
Yeah. Oh, and it just rolled out.
The other side.
Okay.
But it's 2/3 exposed. If she comes at it, she risks jamming up on the back blue.
That's true.
So I'd run the top blue into the yellow.
Okay, and that's what Teresa's sort of motioning right now.
And she's calling timeout on it. Yeah.
So this would be Teresa's first time out, I believe. Team Colleen Jones already took one earlier on in the game.
There we go.
Let's see if they put a little time back on the clock. They were.
Yeah, I do a lot of timing, and I count second. They lost 10 seconds there.
Okay, so
Yeah.
we'll keep an eye on that and see if they get that back on the clock.
That's one of my big pet peeves.
Okay, so what's Team Breen talking through here? What their options are?
They're talking about just freezing up on top of it, and then give them more exposure to smack it out next time,
Okay.
because they don't need the points. Obviously, they talked about the hit out and just get rid of it. But what does that do? It opens everything up and gives her a chance to come in. And can they just pick it?
Yeah.
Just skim it and get across. It's there.
It's really thin though, isn't it? If they try
Yeah.
to pick it.
Yeah, and if they if they try to pick it and just get it a little too thick, they're just going to push that blue back a little bit anyways.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not going to. They shouldn't remove that back blue. So
Okay. Looks like they're going to make a play on that blue on the top 12. That's sort of.
yeah.
Yeah. So is that the run back? That's the call, Terry?
Run back.
Okay.
And she's calling for just a little bit off the nose towards the center line to try to keep her a shot. If she wanted to make them both go and not worry about it, nose would work. So anything from just off the nose inside to the nose.
Okay. So Marley's first tone. They're hard on it out of her hand.
Yeah, they're worried it's going to over curl here. And it looks like it is. It's going to get the nose and get the double. Nope. There we go. Nice shot.
Oh, wow. So that removes Colleen Jones's yellow rock. And,
Yeah,
now Team Breen's lying
3.
3.
But the double on 2 on the in the 4-foot is not there, so they're going to have to double off the one on top first.
Okay. Just to sort
So-
of open up the front a little bit.
Yeah,
Okay.
which gives Breen a chance to put a guard on top and afterwards. So it's not about the shot you're making here; it's what you're going to leave the team and what they're going to do. So
Okay, sweepers are off.
just a little bit off, just enough.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So Teresa's going to call the guard in the house, be a little aggressive. And
So the perfect shot for her is top 4.
the perfect shots to come around and keep them from running that yellow bay in the house. So that way
Okay.
they're sitting too, but prevent them from running that yellow back to get the point. Acceptable is a guard in front.
Okay, that's
So-
right. 'Cause that also takes away the same type of shot.
What's not acceptable is throwing a little heavy.
Sweepers are on and off.
Yeah, which is usually a good sign. A lot of people, you've got to sweep because you called it too close to that guard, and you end up sweeping a rock that you know is a little heavy, just so you can make it by. But that's a great shot.
Good shot by Marley Powers on her last stone.
Yeah, now they're going to try that run back again.
We guarded your butt. You were definitely full
Oh,
stop.
yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we were guarding your butt.
Oh, I didn't know that.
We
I thought you.
well, we had about 4 feet of ice for the guard.
I thought you'd drawn off the road.
Well, I told her, I begged her, and she didn't really want to go that deep. Almost got there.
Double, almost been there.
They got the double out.
Just
Yeah,
a jam.
and they roll to the outside. So
The guard goes back on shot stone, doesn't it?
yeah, but this is going to give them a chance to be able to hit and peel this guard out. So they should put this guard up a little higher and let Colleen be able to draw in. Because if they bring it tight to the house, Colleen's going to be able to hit and roll behind those 2 guards on the side and give her chance for her 2.
Right.
So she's got
Comes
so
Teresa's first stone.
Yeah, the weight's good. She's a little tall. She'd be about 3 walks outside the house, which would be really nice.
Okay, sweepers are on it.
Yeah. Because you want to bring it close enough to keep her from drawing around, but high enough that she can't roll into the house.
It's a great guard.
Yeah, I thought that was about 4 feet heavier, 3 feet heavier. Having a hard time reading the speed of the rocks from up here.
A lot of the teams keep rock books as well on these rocks because everyone has a different curl and slide to them. Some are heavy, some curl more, some curl less.
And I'm not at that level yet for those, but I would come out here with a scale and weigh every rock.
Oh, would you? You'll see a few coaches here with binoculars taking notes on what rocks other teams are throwing.
Yeah, and once we get to the weekend, into the playoffs, you'll see. If you ever notice, most teams will start picking rocks.
The set they want for the.
Yeah. And they try to match up the 2 rocks for each person, so which is quite interesting. Your hitters, they want straighter rocks, and your drawers,
right.
they want the ones with more curl. And that dynamics to do that is quite interesting. Like myself personally, I like 5-6 feet of curl, but these people, the ones out here, they like 4 feet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is Team Breen's final stone. So Terry, they're just trying to remove this and
just remove it because then they'll force the point, and they can't get 2. She's not too worried about staying. There's enough room that she should have no problem, but she definitely should hit the nose because there's a risk of jamming up on that back blue. So if you notice, that's why she's on top of the rock. She's trying to hit the nose or to the center side of nose.
Okay.
Yeah. And the unfortunate thing with the straight ice, that guard on top does come into play.
Yeah. So Teresa Breen has a loud voice as she.
Yeah. Great shot.
Oh, she even got a little roll there.
Yeah, and now so they got to touch the button.
Yeah, because before there was a hit there. They could hit for their 1.
Yeah. I don't know if the blank is still there on the other side, but it doesn't appear so. But I think this is where they need to take the point anyways.
Yeah, absolutely. When you're down 3.
Yeah. See, this looks a little hot to me, but
Kim Kelly's looks like she's saying whoa.
yeah.
But okay, sweepers are all off.
Well, we may get handshakes here.
And that's it's going to be a steal to 2.
Yeah.
So that gets us 9 to
4. 5
4.
points up with 2 ends to go. So they're talking about it. So what they want to do. So
yeah, it's the skip's decision.
yeah.
So they're going to talk it over.
I'd keep playing. You're not out of points. Just keep playing.
Mistakes do happen.
Yep.
The only argument to shake is it's a long week and there's still quite a few games to come. So
Yeah, get to learn the ice a little bit more. Okay, we're out of it. Let's try something else. See if we can make something else work. Because these truly are two of the best teams here.
Yes.
Even though the records are not showing that for.
Yeah, Breen's
Marianne came second last year, I do believe, didn't she?
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Amanda just threw a 4, a perfect score. She just threw it right through.
So what's the purpose of throwing it straight through on your first rock?
No, you can't score without rocks in play. So you keep the thing clean, and they're just going to hit, and keep the score down. A lot of the teams, if you notice now too, in the Briar, they're just in that situation. They're just hogging them. They're just coming up and just throwing them just barely over the hog line. For one, it doesn't.
Okay,
You're not expelling all that extra energy to throw it through.
Okay.
And you don't have to worry about a pick to stop the rock. That makes the rock come into play.
Yeah, that's it's another way of accomplishing the same thing, burning the rock.
It's quite neat when you see Gushu and Morris. I've seen both do it. Just sit up there in the hog line. As soon as they pass the hog line, they'll just kick it because that's it's done. It drives some people nuts. You want me to hog it?
Yeah. Okay, so this is another one straight through.
So it's nice to see the top end guys doing it, so you can explain to other people that you have a better chance of making it.
The 2 rocks through makes Amanda curl a perfect dent.
Right.
Made both her shots.
Yeah, that should make her happy, but she's got her poker face going.
So are we going to see another guard here from Team Jones?
Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, she needs more. You put up the 2 corner guards if you want to get 3 points. If you're just looking for your 2, you come around your 1 corner guard.
Okay.
So this gives her the option to put one on one side, one on the other, and then one down the center.
Okay. So
at the end.
It looks like Nancy's also curling 100% in this end too, because she has
2 nice guards.
2 nice guards is right. I'll do my job here changing the TV upstairs.
Yeah. The next year this will come into play much better because next year the 5 rock rule comes into play.
Oh, that'll definitely be really interesting.
Because now you can take out one of those guards, and this is one. So now you've got 2 guards up there, and you're allowed to take it out. Next year you won't be allowed to. So this would be another throw through next year.
Okay.
Now see, there's the mistake you're hoping for.
Yeah, that is a mistake.
That's a big mistake.
That rock thrown by Jocelyn should have ideally rolled out.
Yeah. The only bonus for her is it went over the center line, so it allows her to draw into the center. So it rolled it the other way, it would have been really bad.
Okay.
So try to take the positive out of it. So if you notice, Colleen and them, they went right around the corner guard, not the center guard.
Okay. And
it's through.
Yeah, a little heavy and through the house.
Yeah, so Teresa, she removes this.
So
at that point, I won't know what Colleen's going to do. Is she going to come around that guard or just put one in the wings on the outside and hope for a miss? We're sweeping it, so it must be sticking around.
Yeah, well, it hit,
they held it.
Hit a half and rolls out.
Thank you, Lively Rocks.
Okay, and yeah, they're not coming around Breen's guard.
No, there's no point to.
Because you run it back.
You just remove it, and you're looking at 1 point. So you got to try to develop something on the outside. Yeah, so they're going to put the corner guard up again, but at this point, even in the house is okay.
Sweepers are on and off of it.
Yeah. Teresa's just going to come up and remove that again.
Yeah.
And they're going to put that guard up. What they're hoping for is that miss. They're hoping that Teresa hits this on the nose or whatever, and it sticks around, and then they get their corner guard to come around.
So letting the other team make the shot for you.
Hoping for it, yeah. Let them make the shot you want. Unfortunately, sometimes you have to play that way. So they just removed 2 on one side, so I'd go put the corner guard on the other side.
Just to
change it up.
Change up the throwing path.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, she's drawing in now.
Yeah, you're currently watching the 2018 Scotties Tournament of Hearts here in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia. Just want to also thank our broadcasting partner, Bell Fiber TV1.
So on sheet B, McDermott is up by 2 without the hammer on the going into the 10th end.
So sheet C, we have Arsenault up
Yeah.
up 4-3 over Brothers.
And Brothers just threw it through. Is there one in the house there, or is it the house blanked?
Yes, there's.
Okay, so they just threw it through for the blank.
Okay.
Yeah. So they've chosen to take the hammer, going home, being down by 1. And that's one of the great things a lot of coaches tell you. Do you want to be up with or down without? Or up down with or up without? And they had the choice to even it without the hammer, and they chose to keep the hammer.
So.
And on sheet E, Ladouceur is sitting 1, possibly 2. I think they're sitting 2. With a double here for a chance for 4 for McElroy. But they don't have hammer. So there's still 9th there. So it'll force Isabel to draw. Yeah, so Colleen's got the center line guard up there, and they're just peeling it away.
Trying to keep the path to the button open.
No, Breen wants path to the button.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it must be, and it's also close enough to either pick it. It looks like it might be in, but they can also split it in for an extra point. So they don't need rocks around. Make it go away.
Yeah, last night Team Breen got in trouble in the first end playing Jill Brothers, where Jill almost made a split for 3. She came up with 2, but it was really close to 3.
And those splits can come into play a lot of times because you forget about it, and then, well, it's not in. I don't have to worry about it. Mm-hmm. Ouch. So it looks like Colleen and them are just electing to take their 2 on this end. They got the broom down the center line, so that there must be coming in a house to the wing.
No, actually, this is Kim Kelly's first.
Oh, okay.
So they're drawing to the wing, and then
getting their 2 and hope maybe you miss, but
Teresa can.
Yeah,
Teresa will
remove one of the 2 for sure,
and then they will take out Teresa's.
Yeah, they'll be very happy to give up 2 to get the hammer back.
Sweepers are off that.
So I missed what happened on sheet E, but Ladouceur got her point. So now she's down by 2 without the hammer.
Okay. And Kim Kelly back on our sheet just made a nice draw to the wing.
The edge of the 12-foot, 8-foot line. Teresa just has to make one go away. The double's there, so do you want to take the double chance at the double? There's no harm, no foul on that because you're going to remove one no matter what. And if you remove the two, it's a really good shot. So this would be a great opportunity to practice a double.
This looks like that's what Marley sort of stepped up ahead and took a look at just to make sure she
the angle's there.
Yeah, understood the angle that she's calling.
And you don't need to throw a lot of weight at this. You got lively house, fast rocks.
So this is Team Teresa Breen's last stone.
So she's definitely got the rock on the outside. Does she have the double? No.
Oh wow!
It stayed straight.
There was no curl there whatsoever.
And
so
that's the miss, the hope miss for the three.
Yeah.
And why you don't shake hands.
That is quite true. Quite true.
Yeah. It really goes to your mental of your team. If your team's down and mentally not there, shake hands and get them off.
Yeah, so
if they're still in it to win it, keep going.
Now we have a draw for three.
Yeah. I find it interesting how she's drawn to the wing again, where she's drawn away from the button.
It's the same shot she just threw, right?
Exactly. That's what I was going to get at. It's the same shot she just threw, so she knows to wait for the line she just threw.
Throw what you know.
Yeah, throw what you know.
Yeah, sweepers on and off.
Yeah.
Looks like they're pretty happy with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's for three. So still plenty of game left after that ninth end.
It's not hard to steal two. So we now have a game again.
We do. So Breen has the hammer up two coming home.
For all the ones watching at home, if you're down by 5, two left, play it.
Yeah. The beer upstairs will always be cold.
Yeah.
So are we expecting to see double center guards from Team Jones to hopefully
Doubles,
like two center guards?
definitely. And definitely stagger them, so give her a little more room to draw around. So she'll just want them to just barely touch instead of half covering each other. Even a little bit of gap is okay. So, yeah, we were down at ourselves at the Nationals. We were down by 4 without the hammer. The other skip come up the ice and saying, "Why aren't you guys shaking hands?" We played till the end. We stole 5 and won the game. So never give up.
This is Amanda Simpson's first shot.
Yeah, and so she's just looking at trying to split the guard here. Try to turn it into from a corner center line guard to 2 corners. In the house is okay because now she can hit that out.
Oh. So what do we call
That's
that?
a
We
great
call
shot.
that
A Weagle.
A tick shot? Oh, at least a Weagle.
Lisa Weagle shot. So in my head on the ice, I go Weagle it. Just to get the head smiling because it's a tough shot.
Yes, it definitely is.
Lisa makes that look so easy.
Because if you hit it thick, your rock goes away and the rock goes back, doesn't it?
And if you nose it, you just put a guard on top and put theirs in the house. So now they're going to probably call for the same thing.
So they're calling for another.
Actually, no, they'll call. No, this is in the house. They're coming for the one in the house. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Yeah. Can't score the point right there. So after having to throw 2 through, she has Amanda had to come back with 2 tough shots.
Yeah. So do they want to stick around on the shot here?
They don't care. It's that far out that you can't really draw around it or nothing. You can freeze to it and kind of outshoot that one, but yeah, rolling out was the bonus. But at that point, just make it go away.
That's great.
The worst thing is to roll inside.
Here comes Mary Sue's first stone.
That's why I wish any new curler would watch the movie Men with Brooms.
Okay.
They explain how important your lead rocks are.
It sets up the end.
Yeah, of that whole movie, that's the only thing I got out of it. Your lead is key.
So were they trying to
Come around.
get behind cover? Yes.
Yeah. They didn't want this exposed, so this was a little bit of a mess.
Okay.
But it's half exposed, so the chance to get the guard, so you play it tight, and you're okay with getting the guard here. So this is not one of those ones you give just enough ice and peel on the outside. Now you come at this hard. Because the guard is okay, and you want something to go away.
Yeah, that's one thing Jocelyn Adams can do is throw a hard rock.
Yeah, she's far enough out, she ain't going to come anywhere near that guard up front, so she might stick around, which they don't really worry about that right now. And she got the rock out of there.
Okay.
That's one of those ones hitting the nose on that you don't worry about, where the first couple ends you might have. I'm going to get out here early enough tonight. I'm all dressed ready to get on the ice myself. So
You're curling at Lakeshore tonight.
Lakeshore at 6:15, and it takes about a half hour to get there. So
That's not too bad at all. You're having a full day of curling
yeah,
here at the Dartmouth Curling Club.
did they call timeout here, or they're just talking? They don't need to. There's lots of time. So they're just discussing what they would do. The freeze to try to get 2, and smack it out later. Do you want to hit and roll, and try to look for a miss later behind the corner guard, and try to hope that Breen misses her shot for the hit later on, and get 2 that way. I know personally myself that I'd still probably play that freeze tap and try to get behind that guard one more time. There's still lots of rocks, and try to just do the hack weight and just try to get behind that guard one more time.
Okay.
Yeah, that way that rock's not there right now. But from what I'm seeing from Colleen, she's talking about the freeze on it too. And this is where that experience definitely plays and comes into play.
So where do we have the broom?
Yeah, it looks like that soft little tap. No, that's looking like the freeze ice. They're coming down for that little freeze to a soft tap.
Okay, so let's see how this ends up.
Yeah, this is soft tap. She came out of the hack to...
A soft tap is in bumping it behind the tee line?
Yeah. It's looking like a freeze coming down, though. And they're sweeping, so it's light, but... You're trying to generate, you need to. So,
Yeah, this needs to be in the rings, doesn't it?
yeah.
Well,
Like, yeah, just 2 more feet would have been an okay miss. So,
yeah, so now off come the guards.
yeah, because now the guards are causing her the problems.
There's quite the audience downstairs in the Dartmouth Curling Club.
Yeah, I feel sorry for the ones that are sitting there with, you have to look through the water bottles. You pay good money to get the good seats up front, and then you can't see through the water bottle.
Yeah. It's nice to see that it's busy, and it's only going to get busier as the week goes on.
Yeah, and especially as on the weekend.
Okay.
And as we turn around ourselves, the place is packed up here. And most people are just socializing, not even really paying attention to the game.
Well, the great thing is they have the games on the TV, too.
Yeah.
Oh, they just tapped it back.
That's all they needed to do. So. Yeah, so Colleen's got to hope for a jam here. To make it a little easier on herself. Okay. And Teresa just has to peel out this one. Yeah. She jammed up on the corner guard there, so it brought the corner guard a little tighter. Make this scoring zone a little smaller. Come around that, so.
So they're calling
Just call and come around.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't need to run that one back into that back blue yet, so it looks like they're trying to set up the angle to take it out later. Yeah, so this is going to nick the one on the top 8 foot there. See what the separation we get there, so.
Okay.
This is an easy double peel away. Just hit the rock on the
little off nose.
Little off nose to the right, and the 2 yellows are gone, and so is your shooter.
So you don't want to leave a shooter for a rock to hide behind, right?
At this point, you don't worry. You just want to make them both go away. A nose makes them both go away too, so. Or just barely off nose, so. Because it's yours, it's in the house, and you can tap it up, so.
Here's the final stone from Marley.
And then the little roll away. Yeah, just a little thick.
Okay.
But that's why it's a game. It's a game of inches. Okay. Half inch more, they're all gone. But at least they're still shooting shot.
So this looks like ice for a freeze, doesn't it, Terry?
The freeze are just a little bit of space draw on top and try and hope they'll jam it up when they try to remove it. You're trying to create a miss now. Or a mistake, I should say.
Yeah, because all Colleen Jones needs is 2 to take this to an extra end.
Yeah. What's hurting her is the 4 foot's open.
That's right.
Still tough to get into the 4 foot even. So they're coming in for the freeze. The weight are very close. So there's about 2 rocks in between. A little bit more. So now Teresa.
Well, there's a lot of clapping going on up here. Something just happened on the Brothers Arsenault sheet.
Well, we can. Well, with Arsenal smiling and doing fist pumps, I got a funny feeling they won that one.
Yeah. That was a close game all the way.
Yeah. And just think they're just getting better and better all these games.
Yeah, the good teams this week, the more and more they play on this ice, the better they get.
Yeah. So back to ours is Marianne was trying to figure out which way she wants to hit it, make sure to take away the jam. The jam is not the be-all, end-all on this shot. Because she should still be very close to shot, if not. Okay. Ideally, if she can get the little spin double, it would be awesome for her.
Both sweepers are hard on Teresa's rock. And
Yeah. Main thing is get rid of it. Colleen has to get rid of this rock now, or give it a little bump. They have to be sitting too. This is her last rock, so she has to bump that blue back just enough. It's out shooting that the yellow on the side's out shooting it.
So ideally, they'd want to bump it back and keep it as a catcher, or do they want to?
Well, you don't want to keep it as a at that point. It's not as a catcher, because if they hit nose, they're done. At that point, you're hoping for a miss and their shooter roll out. If you do that, you get the catcher and the roll out. You can hit and roll behind the guard and have two there and have to force her to do a cold draw and hope that she's either light or heavy, or just remove it completely and hope she misses the shot. So I think they're going for the hit and roll behind.
Yeah. So
they make it a cold draw because they've been hitting the last two ends.
okay.
So
yeah, Colleen's just cleaning the rock.
yeah. So try to do the hit and little roll. Not enough that they can roll right down on top of that. Draw on it. It's a little easier. She can hit from the outside and just make the rock go away. Or the cold draw. But I would go for a hit of some sort, because you don't need. All you do is make one go away, and you haven't thrown a draw on 2.5 ends, 3 ends.
Yeah. And you're right. Like you said, it doesn't matter if you roll out or not.
No, because they need two, and there's only two there. One goes away. Matt says that one doesn't give you two. So the only thing Colleen can, Jones can hope for is that no one's gone down this way for a hit. I don't think in our whole game. So it's completely a path unseen.
I believe you're right. So and there's a guard up there too that
mentally gets in your way.
Yeah.
And it's just covering the stone enough to get in the way. So if this bounces off the frost, the guard's in play. And they're definitely calling. No, they're away. They're just being a little nervous about it.
Okay.
They got it. There we go. You gotta love that when the nerves comes in play. There we go.
There we go.
And
it's steal a one.
Steal a one, but they need a two.
So final score, we have 9-8 for Teresa Breen.
That's a lot of points.
Yeah.
That was a great game.
It's a great game to commentate. Thank you for that, Terry.
And thank you.
Yeah, that's
that'll be it. And the women are back on tomorrow, I do believe, at 8 a.m.
They are. So that finishes up draw number 5 at the 2018 Scotties Tournament of Hearts here in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia.
And the men are on at 7.
That's great. All right.
You guys have a good one and take care.
Bye for now.